Good morning, and today I'm going to share with you, it is morning, a day in the life of a real estate investor, real estate instructor, real estate broker, loan officer, everything that I do. People say that they want to follow me around and shadow me, and that's absolutely positively fine, but I never know what I'm going to be doing. And today was the day that our unlawful detainer against my tenant on Shady Lane in Irvine happened. And at the last minute, my attorney called me and said, we have to be in court today because we're not releasing the contingencies upon which he said he was going to move out. So thank goodness he is out of my property. He moved out and it was supposed to be ready for my new tenants to move in. And my new tenants had planned on moving in on July 3rd and had paid for the full month of rent. They still have not moved in. It is currently July 15th. And one of the reasons they haven't moved in yet is the damage that he has done to my home. I get as a landlord that I should expect some damage. I should expect possibly new carpet, possibly new flooring. But when you have hardwood flooring, you wouldn't think that somebody would destroy it the way that they did. They were only in my property since March of last year. And you guys, as a investor or a landlord that's renting out a property, you do have to expect some damage, and you do have to pay for, wear and tear, carpet. This home has had the same carpet in it for the last, I want to say 10 years, but it's an upper level home. It's $7,000 a month rent. People that have that kind of money to pay for rent should probably treat a home how you would expect to treat it if you owned it. And unfortunately, this man was supposed to leave my property broom swept clean, ready for my new tenants to move in. We have already towed out 2 U-Hauls of trash. As they were about to rent the 3rd U-Haul, my contractor handyman decided, he goes, they're all bagged up. There's about 8 bags of big, huge trash bags. We're going to go ahead and we'll just throw it in the back of my truck. And so there was all kinds of trash there. There was a Christmas tree from last year on the side of the house. He destroyed the barbecue out in the backyard. Now, this is the best one. I have never heard of somebody doing this to someone's home. I don't know what kind of kinky crap he did in my home, but he had a girlfriend move in after him and his wife separated. She moved out. He moved in a girlfriend. She had a kitten or a cat or something, which was not authorized. I would never authorize. You guys, as landlords, dogs are okay. For the most part, they're potty trained. Cats seem to leave the worst odor in your home. And he had an unauthorized cat in my home. And basically what the cat did, I don't know if it was the cat or the man, but when you walked into the downstairs restroom that was connected to one of the downstairs bedrooms, I don't know. I don't know how to say this without grossing you out, but it seems that he just kind of went into the bathroom. Instead of making a left to the toilet, he just shut the door behind him, turned and aimed at the wall. So there was urine all over the wall in the bathroom. There was urine from the cat all over the floor. He damaged the hardwood floor, scratching it all across where the television was. And, somebody doing that to your home, would they do that to their own home? I'm just saying, landlords and tenants, I don't understand why tenants don't take responsibility and why tenants, I'm not saying all of them, because there are some great tenants. The person I have moving in now, she is simply amazing. And I don't know if I'm just going on and on and on about what to expect as an investor, but you do have to expect some damage. And that's why we get a deposit. So the deposit is a cleaning deposit and, normal wear and tear. However, have some responsibility as a tenant to treat the home as if it's your home. You live there and you want it to be nice. As a landlord, expect some damage to be done. The sad part was literally this guy left bags and bags and bags of trash in my home. He left, 20 or 30 pillows stuffed in a closet with a bunch of clothes. And everything was just, my new tenant was disgusted. So we've already hired cleaning crews. We had to get stuff to take the urine out of the walls. And it's pretty extensive. So when you're in court, the next thing that you do is you go to the unlawful detainer court, and don't feel, as a landlord, don't feel like there's no possibility of getting any of that money back. This guy was really tricky with me. Him and his wife were, honestly, they're con artists. He's been arraigned already to go to court for a trial for money laundering and wire fraud. And he's wearing an ankle bracelet in my home. and I had to talk to the U.S. District Attorney, and I had to talk to his parole officer. And this guy seriously is bad news. And as a landlord, unfortunately, this is so true. The unlawful detainer, the people who are the con artists, the people who set you up as a landlord, those are the bad people, and that's what he was. And you know, unfortunately, our judicial system does not put anything against anybody if they can get it removed. And so as a landlord, what they do is when you go into your unlawful detainer, they try to negotiate with you. I'm sorry, my dog is sitting under me crying because there's strange men in my backyard working on my yard. I'm finally actually going to make my backyard like an awesome oasis, and we'll show that on some of my videos. But here's the thing. He sat in court, you know, knowing what he did to my home, rolling his eyes like it wasn't true. And my new tenant is going to testify against him in court about how the house was left. And, you know, the thing is as a landlord, you can not allow the unlawful detainer not to show. So let me explain that in layman's terms. When you go to court to try to get someone out of your home, you make a settlement. And the settlement with him was he had to leave the home in broom swept condition. That means all his personal items out and ready for my new client to move in. And because he didn't, okay, if he did, he would not have a $40,000 lien against him for repairs, and he would not have the unlawful detainer. So what these people do is they know that if they negotiate the unlawful detainer out, it won't show on their record. And when they go to rent to some other landlord, it won't show. So when the landlord runs the background check, like I did on him, the unlawful detainer didn't show. So I don't think our judicial system should allow people who take advantage of landlords to get that unlawful detainer not to show. There's so many things that I want to teach you guys, and I'm planning on doing another video about, you know, different things that you can and can't do as a landlord. And I'm planning on bringing my attorney on to talk also, because I have a lot of you guys asking about my attorney and asking about questions. He definitely will talk to you for free. Usually, like, he spent an hour on the phone last night with one of my students about questions that he bought a triplex, and one of the units, the renter refuses to get out. How do I get that tenant out? So I know it seems kind of like to me that I'm rambling, and I don't want to keep rambling. And I know that you guys have lots of questions as investors or people that are landlords. But tenants, I have nothing against you if you treat a home in the way that a home should be treated. But when you treat a home like it's trash, you know, this is an investment that a landlord makes. And just because you're in California doesn't mean that you could thrash the home and leave it the way that you should not be leaving it. You know, this is an investment for your landlords just because they can afford to have a home to rent out. If we didn't have these homes for you to rent out in California, you would have no place to live. So I don't understand the concept of, you know, how somebody could live in a home and just thrash it and be able to look in the mirror at themselves and go, like he was doing in court, rolling his eyes. It was funny, my attorney said, was he trying to look at the backside of the inside of his head, or what was he doing the way he was rolling his eyes? And this is a man who literally thrashed my home. So I will keep you posted, because on August the 5th, we go back to court, and with the evidence of the photos that we took, you know, his attorney's saying that he's willing to testify that he left the house clean. Well, anybody can testify and say they left a house clean when they didn't. Anyway, I have more information for you. And if you have questions or problems with your landlord-tenant relationships, I definitely have the attorney for you, and try to keep you so that you are able to rent your homes to a great tenant who will appreciate your home and treat it the way it should be, so that you can, you know, when they live there for 2 or 3 years and they go and they buy a home, that you can help them possibly buy a new home and then, you know, immediately rent out your home because it's not damaged. So, you know, people treat people, this is my saying, treat people and things how you would want yourself to be treated and your personal items treated. You know, I didn't want to get into this on this video, and I'm making it too long, but I have a movie that I'm working on. It's called A Day at the Park. I don't know if I'm going to call it A Day at the Park or A Day at the Cemetery, but it talks about how when I gave birth to my son, I actually had a near-death experience. And what I learned when I died and I came back was we all need to treat each other how we want to be treated. Stop being mean, stop hurting each other, and treat everyone and your personal items, there goes the construction in my backyard, how you want to be treated, because that's how we should be living our lives. Bye for now.